life. Wait, are you older than me or no?
Who, me?
How old are you, twin?
39. Yeah. I'm 30. I'm 39, year old.
Okay, yeah, he older than me. He's a big
Ooh.
brother. So, it's your girl, Miss Ashley Life, and Twinsinc in the building for the real deal versus how you feel.
Right.
Today, our show's topic is red pill, blue pill, but can you even chew a pill? Bar.
Uh-oh.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. So you hear all this talk about red pills, blue pills, green pills, purple pills. But at the end of the day, what I have observed is that these people can't choose pills. It don't matter if the pill is blue or red or other. It's just no. And they're chewable. And they're having a hard time. They're having a difficult time. What do I mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
I mean that I'm observing. So if you say that you subscribe to a red pill, subscribe to it. Like all of what it comes with. Hold that, chew it, be that.
Own it.
That's that. Own it. And if it's a blue pill, own it. These people they bite the pill, they start chewing it, think they swallow a little bit of it, and then spit it back out, and they go and they try to bite a different pill. Like, y'all, listen, a double-minded mind is unstable in all his ways. And that's what I'm seeing. I'm experiencing that instability. So that's kind of how this topic came about. What did you get when you saw the topic? Where did it settle with you?
So when I saw the topic, so ladies and gentlemen, just make sure everybody understands what's going on here. When we do these shows, we come up with a topic. There's no behind the scenes talking route. You gonna say this, she gonna say that, I'm gonna say this. It doesn't. Here's a topic. See you Monday. Let's go. So this is all shooting from the hip from both of us. I mean, of course, I did a little research, but I'm saying that there's no behind the scene conversation. Here's a topic, and we're talking about it now. So when she sent this topic, I want to say it was either Thursday or Friday, right? Red pill, blue pill, can you even chew a pill? Now, I know what the red pill is. I know what the blue pill is. So those two concepts I understand correctly. But then the last part of the sentence is, can you even chew a pill? So I said, I wonder where this conversation may go, right? So that's where I'm at. I'm still seeing where the conversation is going to go, or maybe where it came from. Like, I have an idea. I subscribe to the real pill, right? But like I said, and I was blue pill at one point.
So what pill?
I said I was a red pill at one point. I mean, I am a red pill. I do subscribe to red pill. I was a blue pill.
All right. Since you subscribe to red pill, tell us what red pill is.
Oh, the red pill. So let me just take it back a little bit. So the red pill and the blue pill, it is something that is a term that we use. When I say we, I'm referring to men. This is something that we use in what's called a manosphere, right? And for layman's terms, right? Most of us seen the movie The Matrix back in 1999, which is a great movie with Keanu Reeves. The new one comes out in December. I'm going to see it. Can't wait. But the red pill and blue pill kind of originate from the conversation that Morpheus had with Neo. And at the end of the day, they make it very clear as day, so people understand. You take the red pill, you see what's going on under the umbrella, right? The blue pill, you stay where you're at, you stay asleep, and you continue to do the same thing you've been doing your whole life. But if you take this red pill, you're going to be exposed to the rabbit hole and everything that's the masses don't want you to talk about or want you to know. So if you see the movie, that's what the concept of the red pill, blue pill really comes for. Now, to bring it up to 2020.
What does the red pill mean in today's society?
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
What does it mean
Yeah, I'm getting to that. I was going right into that. So now in 2021, to make it more up to date speed, what does that mean to everyone? The terms red pill and blue pills refer to a choice between a willingness to learn a potential unsettling or life-changing truth by taking the red pill, or remaining in the content ignorance with the blue pill. So it's like saying either you're gonna be woke or you're gonna be asleep. You want to stay asleep? Go ahead, be a sheep and continue to be asleep and continue your day's worth. But once you become woke, you start looking at things at a different angle, and have a better understanding about life and choices you make and everything that's going on in the world. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you're saying the red pill is you being woke, and what that would represent in today's society is what type of a person? Because how do you identify a red pill person versus a blue pill person?
You're right. So that's a question.
Versus a purple pill person.
Yeah, I mean, right. There's so many. We're gonna stick with the two well-known, popular ones right now, which is the red and blue. Because I don't know all of them. I'm
doing the purple because you mix red and blue together, and I got purple.
Well, you don't want to mix pills together because you know that might mess you up. You mix pills together. We ain't no pill popping over here. but we're gonna stay with the red and we're gonna stay with the blue, just so we understand the basics. And if you want to talk about the other colors, that's fine. Not you. I'm talking to the listeners and one out there who's listening now or even later on. You can deep dive on the other pills, but the main ones we want to really focus on today is just the red pill, and the blue pill. And then as far as how to identify what a real pill is that most of the time, the people that are considered red pill are usually the people that are considered to be, oh, he's mad. Oh, who's hurt him? Oh, no. I was going to say misogynist. But let me go back real quick. The manosphere. I'm going to give you a definition of the manosphere as well. The manosphere is a collection of websites, blogs, online forums promoting masculinity, strong opposition to feminism and misogyny. Communities within the manosphere includes men's rights activists, includes men going their own way, pickup artists, fathers' right groups. That's what the manosphere is. So I'm gonna say misogynist, but no, we don't agree with misogynists because in the day we love women. To be clear, we love women. Misogynists are men who don't like women. So make sure we understand the difference, ladies and gentlemen. So when men go in their own way, we love women, but once you become red pill, and I'll say once you become woke, understand how women really work and how the world works, you look at women and you navigate through women totally different than you did when you were blue pill. You go from being a simp to more like, nah, I'm not doing that no more. Why am I bending over backwards? What's the real benefit for me? Does that even make sense? No, I can't believe I did that. So I'll put a pin there to see if Miss Aspel have any questions. We'll go from there. Did I confuse you?
Okay. So the blue pill is, I'm still not sure how to, identify a person who has a blue pill. I feel like what you identified as a red pill is the majority of the world. Maybe I'm not hearing it clear. It could be because I don't know, specifically, but I did hear you say the red pill has learned the woman and the world.
Yes.
Has it learned anything else? When you say and the world, what are you referring to? Like government, policy?
No, good.
Real estate, entertainment.
Well, yeah, I gave you a clear example of understanding the logic in the world that we're in now. This is a classic or cliche saying that people say over centuries, not just decades, centuries. They say, happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life. That right there is the most blue pill shit ever in my life that I've ever heard. Now, once again, I was blue pill, so I understand that concept. Happy wife, happy life. Let me do it. Yes, dear, no problem. Yeah. Nah, I'm stepping over to the left side. Is that what
blue pill is?
Yes, exactly. To give you more of the basic understanding, yes. Like,
and is it just referring to the relationship?
Well,
or is this something that, it goes outside of an intimate relationship? Like you are a man that operates, and is it only for men?
Yes.
Are there red pill women?
Yes.
Or blue pill women?
No, this is strictly for men only.
Okay. Now, what I was trying to say, are you operating, and this is something you do for all women? You're a yes, sir, for all women.
Yeah, it was, yes.
Or is it just your intimate relationship, not you personally? The blue pill guy.
No, I get it. No. Good question. No, we're laying it all on the table tonight. No, Yes, this is going forward for everyone. At one point, I used to be the blue pill for everyone. This is not just for a relationship. I mean, this is not just for my woman, my wife, my girlfriend. Nah, this is for everyone across the board, right? Once you have take that red pill, you understand, you look at relationship, women, and everything totally different than you were when you were on the other side. So this is for everyone across the board. Before I used to, now I choose violence. And when I say violence, I don't mean physical violence. When I say violence, when I choose violence today, I mean that I'm no longer biting my tongue. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to take it. No, I'm taking it today. I am taking it there today. All the way. No. So that's what I mean. Hopefully that gives you a clear as day, or maybe helps out understanding between the blue pill and red pill.
Okay. So, all right. When this topic came about, guys, honestly, me, Ms. I Speak Life, you know, I didn't research the ins and outs of the red or blue pill because, like Twin said, there's so many different pills. I just feel like whatever the principle is that you stand on in life, that's what it is. I hadn't heard these things coming up, you know, red pill, blue pill, high value, low value, men being the price. Some of these things I had never heard of until a few months ago. So for me, I'm trying to navigate through what are these terms and who's determining what these terms mean and who's actually implementing these terms in real life, because I don't see it in my reality. Maybe, you know, when I say my reality, I know we all live in the same. I'm not saying it, you know, to sound crazy. I'm just saying, like, in my 5-block radius, rather, for lack of better words. You know, I haven't experienced it in any of my in-person relationships with friends, or family, or even perfect strangers that I may meet when I go out. You know, I will say. And recently, I was out and the guy approached me and was talking. And when he had a moment, you know, you're out, you're doing whatever you're doing and whatever. When he got a moment to actually, you know, get my attention for a second, Twin, when I tell you what he asked me, I said, see, this is why I stay over here, right? And I don't venture off over here. You know, I guess that's when you think about the how you mentioned the matrix, when you step out of the matrix. Like, not only am I stepping out of the matrix, but I'm outside of the matrix. I'm just looking at both of these things happening, and I don't want no parts of none of this. I just remove myself completely. So
she's like, I don't like it here.
And I don't like it over here. Okay. So what he ended up asking me was the very first question, Twins. This is the very first question this guy asked. How do you rate yourself he said, from a 0 to a 10, how do you rate yourself? And you can't use 7. So I'm like, 10 is a low number. But okay. I don't know what he thought. I just didn't understand. Mm-hmm. Then I said that out my mouth, you know, just as naturally as it just came out, like 10's a low number. But in my mind, I said it. He was like, nah, like in reality, like for real. I was like, okay. Then he said, look, like Beyonce, like no hair, no makeup, no lashes, no wigs, no weed, just your all natural, out of the shower, authentic self.
This sounds very familiar.
And then said, "Oh, see, I don't know where this is coming from.
I'll tell you in a second. I'll tell you in a second. Continue with the story.
Okay. So then he says, like Beyonce, Alicia Keys, and he named what's the girl name that can barely sing? Ashanti.
Oh, Ashanti. Okay.
Ashanti. So I'm sitting there like, do you see Kelly? I mean, you got me saying Kelly Rowland, but Kelly Rowland is a beautiful one. I'll include her. Do you see Kelly Rowland, Beyonce, Ashanti, or Alicia Keys in your reality? Because the way where they no. So what are you saying right now? I'm confused. My answer will not change. You know, if you are giving me 0 to 10, I'm a 10. Full face, no face. You're not gonna get me to change it. I look at myself every single day. I love myself, and I don't subscribe to, oh, I got this car, I got this, I got that. Whatever I got is what I'm supposed to have. Whether you like it or not, that's your business. You can always close your eyes or turn around or whatever. That's your preference. That's the choice you get to make. But yeah, I was so confused.
Okay.
I was very confused and conflicted. I felt like Dave Chappelle, like I needed to do a Dave Chappelle stand-up about this.
So, all right, before I tell you
we need to bring it to the viewers. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you before we get to that. So, So, did the conversation end at that moment, or did the conversation keep going?
No, the discussion continued because of my perplexed demeanor.
All right.
He felt a little offended, so he kept trying to figure it out.
Okay. So, did he ever get to the point where he was going with that?
He asked me, how do I feel like I'm prepared for marriage? That was question number 2. Is this something that I should be like? Is this a norm?
Hold on, I'm gonna tell you. I just want to know where he was going with all that. That's all I want to know. I know where it come from.
I don't know where he was going.
So pretty much the conversation ended. So after the marriage, I was like, maybe married, and then it was done, and you walked off, and that was it.
Well, no, it wasn't so much that it was like, oh, married. No, that was it. He's like, you're intriguing. Then he went to a whole bunch of compliments. You're so intelligent, you're intriguing, and you're beautiful. I think you're a 10 as well. I was just, like now he's playing, what do you call it? Clean up, right? Because I didn't respond the way he was expecting. My response and my demeanor in my response, right? I stand 10 toes down on whatever it is I believe it. So, I stand on it, right? So my response, he wasn't prepared for, which he ended up saying. I didn't know you were going to respond that way. And then I gave him another couple of seconds of my time in my life, and that was that.
Okay. All right. So yeah, man, he just don't know how much he.
That's not funny.
It's funny. Well, it's not funny, but it's funny to me because I know you, right? And he don't know how much he almost triggered you. And the reason why I say he almost triggered you, because the question he asked you about how do you rank yourself, that it comes directly from Mr. Kevin Samuels. Now, I was kind of...
But I thought Kevin Samuels ranked people based on like their income and all of these other categories.
No. He does, but that's the high value man ranking part right there. He talking about the women part. So the scale from 1 to 10 is for the women, how you view yourself. But we're not getting to the whole topic of why and how he does that. But I was curious why he would even use that when having a conversation with you, right? Or any woman, right? Like that, like if you were kind of a little bit or a smidget a fan of Kevin Samuel, and you heard him say that, you'd have walked off on him as soon as he asked you how do you rank yourself 1 to 10. And I can't believe he answered that question. I was curious to see where he was going with it. But yeah, it comes from Kevin Samuel when he's talking.
So I should have been offended.
Well,
like, because my persona was like, Barf, first of all, what are you talking about? So I was so perplexed, like,
well, I want to say,
it wasn't like, we were out together, like,
right.
It wasn't like that type of situation. So, it was just, it threw me off because I'm like, this is hello.
Well, no. I'm not saying you should be. I'm not saying you should have been offended. It's the fact that you don't subscribe to what Kevin Samuel is saying, right? That's what I'm saying. Like you should know. You wouldn't been upset. It's just like, dude, this your game? That's weak. That's where I'm going with it. As a guy, I'm saying, bro, you use that in the street to talk to a woman. That's the worst game that you can possibly use. That was horrible. Like, don't ever spit that game ever again. Or at least the first question. Now, second question. Do you want to get married? That's a good question for day 1 conversation, the icebreaker. Cool. But the first
he didn't ask, do I want to get married? He asked me, do I see myself as a wife?
Okay, I mean, that's still a good question. That's still a good question. But the ranking part, that was just throw that part out. Just don't ever do that.
None of these questions make sense to me. If we're not on a date, you ain't paying for my meal. What are we talking about?
Hey,
so I couldn't give him.
I mean, maybe he's trying to see, if he could be looking for a wife. I don't know, but yeah, that just didn't. It wasn't a good strategic way to have a conversation with any lady in the world. How you rank yourself? That's not good. And we got me. You can talk offline about that. How he does the ranking part and why does that matter? I don't want to do it now because that's going to move the conversation far from where we're going from right now. It's
got you.
Yeah. But Chris, I see you message when we play in a second here, but that's where that came from. It came from Kevin Samuel. Just the ranking part. So horrible, fellas. If you're listening, tell your boys don't ever use that as a first liner. That is horrible. It looks kind of lame. Stupid. I'm sorry, it was bad when you told me. I said, "Why he said that to you?" Anyway, all right. So, I had a second point I was trying to get at, and it slipped my mind. So, in the meantime, I'm gonna hit play on the message that Chris said. He might be saying the same thing or something different, but I'm gonna hit play on the message here and see what he had to say. Okay.
Okay.
Twins, am I understanding your coverage story right? Like the dude was trying to get her to have a little bit of less self-esteem so he can swoop in and build up her self-esteem, and then she clings onto him. Oh, am I just reaching here? Because that's usually the strategy, right? I mean, I've seen a lot of men when they're dating and approaching and doing pickup lines that sprinkled in there is, well, what is it called, negging? So was this a little bit of negging in that conversation?
Salute, a Bible Dad. Sorry, so
I think so. Thank you. That's Bible Dad.
Yeah, it's Bible Dad. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, on the back end it shows his name, but on when he plays, shows his username. So my apologies to Bible Dad. Long time, glad you in to tap in. But yes, yeah, that was horrible. That's the worst pickup line ever. It's a horrible pickup line. Like, bruh, don't ever do that again. Oh, Lord.
No, but that nagging thing is something to note, and I will have a discussion about that. That might be a topic, friends, because there are new things happening that I don't think we all understand. If you don't, there's a population of people, like you said, those that subscribe to Kevin Samuel. So I'm assuming like that's like a LGBTQIA situation, right? There's a community of Kevin Samuel people. And this is how you all communicate. There's a vocabulary glossary I might need to obtain to fully understand what's going on. So we might need to have that discussion because that sounds about right. Like how does this work? And what is the outcome? What is the expected outcome when you address a woman or, and
that's not
the first thing out of your mouth is to say, let me ask you this question. How do you rate yourself from 0 to 10? I'm like, 10 is a low number. Like, I wasn't, just like out of, huh? Yeah, okay. At least I'm more aware now. But to the point that I was trying to make in terms of the pills that people are taking, it just proves that this is now even more divided because if there's red pill, blue pill, and a plethora, a myriad of other pills, who's keeping track of what these pills represent and where one stops and one starts? How are we supposed to navigate in this? And that's why I say the people can't choose because we don't know what's going
on. Okay, that makes sense now. People can't choose. But no. As far as like you said, what he did is not supposed to be a pickup line. That is something that's like someone taking an interview question they use for interview for hiring someone and use that in real life or as dating, and that's what he did. He used a question that he used for interviewing a person and use that as far as dating. That's what I said. That's why I said that was lame. That was stupid. Like, bro, don't ever do that again. That's horrible. Because if I was a woman, I heard you say that out your mouth, the first thing, conversation done. I'm walking away from you respectfully, right? Because in this day and age, you can't be rude because you don't know what kind of crazy
you
sound to talk
to. You gotta entertain them for a moment.
Right. You gotta
be nice for a second.
Yeah,
temperature. And y'all know Miss I Speak Life will tell y'all that in a heartbeat. But it's okay. Don't feel like, just take a temperature because these temperaments, they switch real quick.
Very quick. So
once you make sure you're safe, then you go ahead and, you want to shake your neck a little bit. Ain't that what y'all say we do? Shake our neck?
I don't know. Just get a bow there, long story short. but gently, right? But yeah, so where you want to go from here, Ms. I Speak Life? Because I know, you was giving a story about that. Which was funny.
Well, that was my experience with, someone that identifies as red pill.
Oh, he said that?
Right.
That came out of his mouth?
Well, it came out later because this is not a. This is like I said, we're not out, but we're amongst people.
Amongst each other,
so
right? Group talking.
We're
Mhm.
yeah. So then it's like, okay, I don't even know what that means exactly, and I didn't have the energy at the time to fully investigate. So, like I said, I did not investigate what red pill, blue pill was, or purple, or pink, or blue, green, whatever. But if that's the encounter, or this is where these things are going, because like when you mentioned the Matrix, my initial and only understanding as it pertains to red pill or blue pill was your consciousness.
Yes.
In terms of how how you operate and experience this world, not necessarily your principle in a sense. Like just knowing that things are going on in this world, the whole concept is being in the world, not of the world. So you either be in the world and choose, the one pill where you be in the world, or you'll be in the world, not of the world, and you'll choose that one. You either be of the world or choose to be in the world, not of the world. And that's pretty much how that was summed up in my head.
Mm-hmm.
But now I see it's more, a little bit more breaking down, because now it has something to do with relationships and dating, and everything seems to, somehow or another correlate to relationships. And everybody talking about these things are either single or unhappily married. So it's just like, I don't think that we're qualified. We can't chew the pill. All right. Stop trying to force feed people this stuff. It's not working in real life. Or, how are you implementing these things in your real life then? And how does it benefit you?
That a question?
So,
that's
a question.
So the question is, how am I implementing it, and how's it working out for me? Is that, make sure I got that right?
Well, you, the listener, you personally, if you want to expound upon it, but I'm saying that's where the where it stems from. Like, how does this work in real life, and how are you benefiting from this way of thinking?
Right. No, I get it. And I'm not here to speak for all men, but I'll speak for majority of the men when it comes to this part. Because like I said previously, right before, the statement that's being said, happy wife, happy life, that is a blue pill term that was created for that type of group. So when I say that, is that a lot of men in relationships silently, when I say silently goes through a lot, but because they want to keep the peace home, right? Peace in the house, not just keep happiness or keep the environment good at home, okay? We ain't talking about sex. We're talking about this, keep the, the aroma and everybody feeling good. Just keep the peace at home, right? A lot of men, we keep the peace at home. A lot of things we would say, we don't say. It's like, you know what, it ain't worth it. I'm gonna let it slide. And what happens is when you do that, the stuff builds up internally with yourself for multiple times. And then when you get to a certain point, you're frustrated, then you may explode or go off. Your significant other's gonna look at you crazy, like, what's wrong with you? It's the first time I did it. Yeah, to them, but to you, you've been holding this shit in forever because you're trying to keep the peace. So when the red pill comes in, it's like, nah, I'm choosing violence today. I'm gonna tell you exactly how I feel. So one, we can get past this so it doesn't bother me and it doesn't bother you, and we can get past this. Because I think that's a lot of problem that even in marriages and long-term relationships have, is that one partner will keep something in because they want to keep the peace. But then when it gets to a breaking point, it's like almost too late. And I blame that on the blue pill. The reason why I say blue pill, because once again, happy wife, happy life. That shit is not true. But
what if women are doing? I think women do that as well, though. You don't want him to blow up, or you don't want him to have an attitude or shut down.
I agree with you saying. I'm not saying it doesn't go both ways, but let's stick the term happy wife, happy life. Just for men. Okay. It don't say happy husband. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Or happy wife, or it don't say that. It says happy wife, happy life.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree. It goes both ways. Sometimes the woman, she don't say nothing because she don't feel like arguing today, right? It's like she wants to keep the peace. Everything's good. She'll talk about it later, maybe in a better mood. I get that. That does happen, right? This, ladies and gentlemen, I'm never speaking in absolute, right? Let's be clear. But,
right.
But the term that most men know across the world is happy wife, happy life. And we take that as like, okay, If I want to be happy, right, and things be good at home, I got to make sure she's good all the time, right? So forget my feelings. Let me make sure I do everything that's good for her. So then if she's good, then guess what? I might end up being good. And sometimes, majority of the time, it don't work out that way. So okay. And the other part of the question is, how's that benefit me? It benefits me now because now I'm at the point where I'm no longer biting my tongue on certain things, right? I'm like, no, at this point now, no, I'm not biting my tongue. I'm telling you, here's what I need, and this is what it is, and I'm standing on it. So now I'm holding you accountable. Now it's my fault because I've been keeping this in for 7, 8 years, right? This is give you an example, right? Been keeping this in for 7, 8 years, but I was blue pill because I was told happy wife, happy life. I don't care what nobody say. Pastor told me this. Other married men told me this. This hearing on TV, everything. It's all over the world. Happy wife, happy life. It's just that simple, right? So a lot of men will low-key suffer because they want to make sure the woman is happy at home. But then if the man do say something, then he got drama at home. And then if she ain't happy at home, then he horrible. And then it's a lose-lose for everyone. So a lot of men, have to swallow their pride because they want to make sure that everything at home is she's at A1 okay, but forget his feelings. And I'll put a pin there for a little bit if anybody want to chime in or if you want to say something there. And shout out to the listeners. If you want to, just leave a comment, you can. If you want to come to the stage, you can as well. We welcome everyone.
Yes. Definitely come and join the discussion because Miss IC Life is struggling with it. Okay. I am trying to really grasp, and I guess it's just situational, So you experience a situation, and I know we're speaking right now, not in absolute, but mainly about the men. Because when we talk about these pills, although this is new to me, because like I said, the red pill, blue pill, initial introduction was from the movie The Matrix. It didn't have a sex on it. It wasn't man or woman. It was a conscious mind or a subconscious mind or unconscious mind rather. So now to take that to bring it to it just pertains to men who have had these types of experiences to now say they're going to be men. They're going to stand up and mean what they say and say what they mean. And I think that in my world that's just a level of maturity, which is a part of a conscious mind. Right? No one should be in a position, unless you subscribe to this, to be someone's doormat. It's not about making anyone happy. Everyone and everybody that knows me that I speak life, my opinion is not popular. I'm just sharing it. But accountability is for one and for all. I do not care what the circumstance, because for your own freedom, you guys seen the movie Derek Luke was in it. What was it called?
Who's the actor?
Antoine Fisher.
Antoine Fisher? What? Denzel?
The movie Antoine Fisher.
That
right?
That's
guy. The name of the movie.
Yeah. The actor.
Right. In the movie, I mean, his real name is Derek Luke, but the movie was called Antoine Fisher.
Yeah.
And in that movie, and like a lot of folks' real lives, real stories, he was abused. He faced trauma at an early age. He was abandoned. He was neglected. There was a lot of PSTD going on. And eventually, when he came to a point where he was ready to face it, part of him facing it, he had to accept him in it. Regardless of what, you have to accept that you were there, and it doesn't mean that you hold all the weight. You just take your level of accountability. So now we're transitioning out of that being for everyone, and now we're separating to say this is just for men. So where are the women in this? Red pill, blue pill?
They're not. There's not there could be, but
so they're not conscious at all.
That's why we have a manosphere. I'm not sure y'all have
what?
a manosphere. I don't know if y'all have a womansphere. You said, what is that? The manosphere?
I don't even think I know what you're saying fully.
Manosphere.
Spell it for me.
Manosphere. MANOS.
Man.
Yeah, man. MANOSPHERE. Manosphere.
PHER.
Yes.
Okay. I've never heard of this. So this is like the opposite of feminism.
Yes. So I read the definition. I'll read it again.
Okay.
I'll read it again. The manosphere is a collection of websites, blogs, and online forums promoting masculinity, strong opposition to feminism, and misogyny. The communities within the manosphere.
You're gonna have to send me where you're getting your definition, because this Wikipedia is just saying that. It kind of says the same thing: strong opposition to feminism and misogyny. Communities with the manosphere include men's rights activists, and so men going their own way, pickup artists, and fathers' rights groups. Okay. So if we know, and I would be concerned, this may be another conversation where we just talk about manosphere and feminism, and really debunking or just exposing the bare truth of the foundations of it, right? Because what is the absolute foundation of a feminism act or feminism group, rather? And I think that that's something we should discuss. Maybe in the near future, we'll talk about these two things, because it's sometimes. So, not to go too far into it. One, I can't really tell upon it because I have to do a little bit of research. Just hearing about manosphere today. I was today years old.
Today years old. You heard about it. Listen, it has been around for decades. I'll say decades.
I don't think it's our thing. I think we keep subscribing to stuff that don't belong to us. I don't think we should be subscribing to feminism and manosphere. It's not our thing. How does it help the black man and the melanated black man and woman?
Well, feminism doesn't. We know that clear as day. That doesn't help no man at all. And of course, not the black man. But
I don't see how either one of them do.
It does.
From what I'm reading.
It does.
I'm asking you how.
It does.
You subscribe to it?
I do subscribe to the manosphere, and also subscribe to the red pill, which I broke down in detail. So.
No, I'm saying, how does it help us collectively?
Well, when you say help us, who's us? Who is us that we're helping? Who is
man and woman, melanated man and melanated woman, and our crisis right now, where we are already with a foot on both our necks and divided.
What's the crisis?
Like I just said, we're already with a foot on our neck, already divided. So how does this bring us together?
Well, about to go down a rabbit hole here. You know, say.
Okay, let me ask an easier question. Is it purpose to bring us together? Yes or no?
Definitely, there's purpose to bring us together. Yes.
Okay.
Just yes.
Okay.
That's one thing I've been preaching forever. I mean, men and women, we need each other, right? We definitely need each other. Men and women need each other, of course, and definitely black men and black women, we need each other. That's a fact. I would never say we should not be together. But the problem that we have is that, one, we can't stay together. Two, there's no accountability once we are together. And because, once again, we can look at the divorce rate. I think it has gone down.
So that's what I'm saying. If we know these are all the problems, where does this bring us together, and where are the results from this?
How it brings us
now
together.
New.
Go ahead. Well, what I'm saying,
no, that was the question.
Well, what I'm saying, how it brings us together, once more men are able to understand how the world works, how the women work, and how they need to move, then they can avoid having certain problems in relationship. Because once again, we've been blue-pilled, told, happy wife, happy life. If you scratch that and say, scratch that part and say, no. The way you feel about something, you need to discuss about it. We don't care how small it is, how it sounds, you want it, whatever it may be, it doesn't matter. You need to get that off your chest and let her know how you feel. Because when you let that stuff hold in, it comes out later on. You frustrated. You frustrated, she frustrated, or stuff happens, you're not talking to each other, y'all beefing, XYZ happens, he step out, she mad you stepped out, but because he didn't have a conversation with you, but he didn't want to have a conversation with you because he wanted to keep the peace in the house because happy wife, happy life, right? Right? So then he steps out, mess up, get caught, she leaves, she mad. Now family divided because he could have from the beginning said what he had on his mind, but he didn't want to have, dysfunction in the house because he wanted to make sure the wife was happy. So he bit his tongue on a lot of things that he should have brought to the table and addressed early in relationship. But once again, that's what I'm saying. It helps men out because men know fellas, here's what you need to. These are the conversations you need to have with a woman, regardless how you think it may have the conversation. And if she can't respect you to have this conversation or look at you differently, guess what? She ain't meant for you. On to the next one. Keep it moving. Because someone's going to appreciate you opening up to them and telling exactly how they feel. And I don't care how small it is. It could be, baby, hey, you know what? I'm tired. I would like for you when you come to bed at night just to brush your teeth. You know what I'm saying? Reason why, because if I'm in your face and you got bad breath, I don't want to smell that. But most people won't say it because you say that, she's going to be mad at you. And then when she mad at you, guess what? You ain't getting no cookie for a while. So, but meanwhile, I got to bear through your hot breath in my face, right? Not saying this is true. I'm just giving y'all an example, but it could be that small of keeping the peace, not saying something, right? And it bothers you. And then when you do say something, she'll look at you crazy, like, really? It's only been one time. Not really been, last 15 years, but I ain't really saying that because I ain't, keep the peace at home. That's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen. That's how the manosphere does help out in a certain extent because it helps men to have these conversations without feeling like, oh, you acting like a little girl. Nah, bro. Nah, let her know how you feel. And I'll just put a plan in for a minute to see how temperature check. What do you think about all that I just said? Ms. I Speak Life.
Listeners, hopefully somebody want to come to the stage or leave a message because I feel like this is wow. I feel like this is another avenue, another lane of where, like how LGBTQ took the rainbow type of thing. So something that was significant for us to understand what we are suffering from in this government-run world as a people, melanated Black man, Black woman, however you want to word it, has now been dwindled down to forget the big picture, right? Forget that. That really matters. So forget that. Let's just focus on the man's emotion because men have been taken advantage of by women, and we don't want men to be taken advantage of by women anymore. So now we're going to develop this organization and these groups similar to what the women did, right? So we're going to follow suit. The women got feminism. So now we going, no, you get to do this. And it was happy wife, happy life all these years. But now guess what? You're going to feel this. And now I'm going to be that. I'm going to be in that same energy. And that's what I'm hearing. And it's hard not to be taken back by it because it's like, why on earth would any man want to tap into what a woman has done and see that the woman done it wrong, period? Like, feminism helped us how?
Well, explain to me what feminism is. Wait.
And if you know it
hold on. Explain to me what feminism is, because what you're doing, you're putting feminism and manosphere in the same category, and they're totally different.
Well, let's say they completely opposition. They opposite of each other. So where the women is feminism, the men is manosphere. That's what we read.
Manosphere.
That's in the definition.
The manosphere is promoting masculinity. So do you want a strong man or you want a weak man?
And feminism.
Hold on. Question. And the manosphere.
We got somebody coming up.
Question. We're asking a question. Men in the manosphere, we're promoting men to be masculinity. Do you want a man who's masculinity or you want a man who's soft?
No, I want a man who is mature, a man who is emotionally intelligent. That's not what I don't want a man that's masculine. I don't want a man that's absolutely masculine. I don't. You're not going to benefit me anything because you're not balanced. You're not fully. So you ask the question: do I want a masculine man, or do I want a soft man? Yeah. I would say I don't want either of those men. I wouldn't have been attracted to a blue pill man either. But again, these are terms that did not initially directly correlate to just a man. It was connected to us, a people, and our consciousness, our awareness of the situation in which we are all still in, very much so. And I feel, again, I hadn't investigated it all the way. So I and we do have these organic conversations. I'm a little thrown back at the fact that feminism, and manosphere are things. And I thought this is the conversation, like the topic needs to focus on what they're trying to say red pill, blue pill is. I'd much rather keep the narrative at red pill, blue pill being the conscious, unconscious mind as it pertains to us as a collective, being in the matrix and operating in the matrix versus operating in the matrix and being able to come out of it. But I'll put a pin in it right there so we can see who this is trying to come up and allow them up. Mosey Unlimited. Okay. Am I saying your name right? Mosey Unlimited? Or Mossy?
Yeah, that's correct.
Welcome to the stage.
Which one?
How you doing, ma'am?
Welcome to the stage. Wait, which one was correct? Mossy or Mosey?
It's Mosey.
Okay, Mosey. Thank you. All right. So I think you heard us. So go ahead and give us your take on the topic. Again, the topic, just so you're aware, I know we kind of veered off, is red pill, blue pill. Wait, let me give it to you. Wait, no, that's my point. That was my point from the topic, but the actual topic is red pill, blue pill, but you can't even chew a pill. So when you hear that, what do you think?
I didn't know about this topic completely.
Okay, go ahead.
Respond on what you guys. Well, I can come back to the original title. I do want to respond to some of the stuff that you guys were just conflicting on. So one of the things that there's a misconception about, the manosphere is not in opposition to feminism. They're not like Ford and Chevy. It's not like WWE and WCW. They're not like black.
But that's in the definition.
No.
He read the definition and it says
let me explain.
Let me finish. Go ahead.
Let me explain. So historically, feminism is specifically just been about the equal rights, human rights for women in society, right? And one of the issues that the new age feminism is like, it needs a new name because the original form of feminism accomplished its goal. The original form of feminism accomplished its goal. It got women equal rights. Women got the right to vote. They got equal pay. They have the right to an opportunity for anything that a man can have in the United States. And just pretty much in any free country, most oftentimes. So like when we hear about feminism, like it's how are you interpreting it? Because historically, the goal has already been accomplished, right? But currently, you hear feminism getting mixed in with social justice conversations, Me Too movement, and it's more of a social issue. It's not a legal issue anymore. Now, the manosphere is just a environment where men can groom and teach other men, and a safe space for men to express masculinity because there's an attack on masculinity. But a real man is not going to be in opposition of a feminist, right? What I mean is a man that's within his masculinity is going to be for a woman having equal pay. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to be like, I think women are beneath men or anything like that. I think one of the issues is that we haven't defined this new form of social feminism that has nothing to do with actually keeping relationships together. It's all about, I'm angry about this social issue that has nothing to do with the right. And then manosphere is really about teaching men how to be men, how to be masculine, so they can stop being simps and they can stop being in the friend zone and they can build their confidence, their self-worth and things like that. The manosphere actually are creating more husbands. They're creating more fathers that are staying in the house. This current form of feminism doesn't do anything to support relationships. it's all about creating this idealism that like men are like against women and that there's like we hate women or something.
Well, it doesn't say that you guys hate women, but I looked it up on Wikipedia, and it sounds like both need a new definition, or it needs to be the manosphere needs to be revamped, because if you go online right now, it's a collection of websites, blogs, and online forums promoting masculinity, not balance, not emotional intelligence, just masculinity. And it says strong opposition to feminism. Wait, let me finish. And misogyny. That is the point. There's a period right there when you go to Wikipedia.
You said it's a strong opposition to misogyny?
It says feminism. One more time. Yes. A strong opposition to feminism and misogyny.
Okay, so I think
misogyny.
Okay, so we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
But
my question, I think
of us being good or not. I mean, my stance is still.
No, I'm saying I'm saying I understand what you're saying. I have a question now. My question to you is, do you understand what masculinity is?
I understand what masculinity is. I don't subscribe to it being solely masculinity. That's what I'm saying.
What do you think masculinity is?
What do you mean? So for me, it's the behavior of a man. So the masculinity is how a man, it's his aura, it's how he carries himself in whatever man role he operates in.
Well, it's scratching the surface, but it's not bad. So I want to ask you
what masculinity is.
Masculinity is a collection of behaviors and standards for men to follow. It has to do with being chivalrous. It has to do with being protective. It has to do with being a gentleman. So.
Okay, so I looked it up, and it doesn't say any. It says some of what you said in it, and I think this is why we're saying some of these things need to be redefined, and they definitely need to be communicated. I guess more, because if men are thinking that this is, if this is resonating with you all as this, and we're not men, right? We're women, and we're reading, and it says that this is this over here. There's already a divide there. There's a disconnect there, because it's how it's resonating with what you understand it to be, versus I wouldn't have that understanding. I'm not a man, so I can only get knowledge of it, right? Go look, and then what it tells me that it is.
Okay, so hold on a second. I have to question where you're reading from. So let me explain to you what masculinity.
That's what I said.
Okay, so anybody, Wikipedia isn't official. Anybody can go on Wikipedia and edit anything on there. It's not an official.
So give me what's official. What were you officially reading from? What's official? I'll go there.
So masculinity is a cultural practice, right? Masculinity is going to change depending on the culture. Now, in American culture, masculinity would be like a good representation of masculinity would be like Captain America. And somebody that represents truth, honor, justice, represents all the positive behaviors that make a woman attracted to a man and make men proud to be a part of them. So it depends. The definition of masculinity is going to be moldable for whatever the industry is. So if you're in the military, masculinity means something. If you're a father, masculinity would be defined as something different, because masculinity needs different. Masculinity is kind of like a garden, and depending on who's the chef, they're gonna pull from it differently. So if you're saying what's masculinity as far as being a father, then that's basic stuff: taking care of your kids, taking care of your woman, taking care of your responsibilities, working, teaching your son. You know what I'm saying? To be a reflection of yourself and be pillars in your community and society. That's what masculinity would look like as a father. Masculinity in the workplace would just look like professionalism. Masculinity in the military would look like Captain America, right? Masculinity and sports would be represented like an image of like Kobe Bryant. But masculinity, the definition is just going to change by the industry. So it cannot be no such thing as a single definition because it's a moldable ideal, no different than femininity. Femininity looks different in sports for women. Femininity looks different in like a nursing field. Femininity may look different in war. In times of war, femininity is going to change depending on, the industry. So if you're a mom, femininity, looks like I'm nurturing, I'm loving, I'm caring, I'm organized, I'm very attentive, and I'm a good listener, and I'm firm, right? But if you're talking about femininity in the workplace, you would describe femininity as different. You wouldn't say femininity is nurturing in the workplace because it would be more guided towards doing your job and representing yourself, respectfully and modestly as a woman. So when you read a definition, you got to understand that these are definitions that describe culture in different industries and in different countries. So masculinity may look different in certain countries in Africa where, an attractive man in the United States would be a fit man, probably 180 pounds, 6 feet. But in Ghana, masculinity would be a positive representation of masculinity would be a guy with a big belly, because that would denote that he makes good money, he has a good wife. But that's what they would deem to be masculine because that's how their culture defines it. So it's
all right. So let's take a moment. Just land the plane for a moment. Let's at least address Coco Queen on the stage. Give us a second to digest what you just said, because at this point, it could be anything at this point, because now it's subjective.
Mm-hmm. I disagree with that.
So, I mean, at this point, if it can't be identified as in the definition, and Coco Queen, you have the floor, hon. Welcome to the stage. Thanks for coming back to the show. We are
no problem.
So go.
I told you guys I was gonna be here. I have to keep my word. Your word is your bond, and bond is life. I mean, I'm just saying.
Hey Coco, before you say something, I want to hit play on your message first because that came in first, and then you can talk right afterwards. I'm curious to see what your message said before you speak. Okay. All right, hold on.
All right. Hey family, what's going on with it? My bad, I got here super late, dealing with some personal things or whatever, And I also had some shows going on today. Got one tonight. I'm trying to, at least keep up the momentum. But I'm definitely gonna listen to the playback. Just wanted to come through and show you guys some love, twins, and my lovely, lovely goddess out there. What's going on with it? I hope you have a wonderful Monday, and also don't forget. Happy Indigenous People Day.
All right. Okay, all right. Go ahead. You got the floor now. Coco.
So, kind of touching the bases on how do you pronounce your name? Because I do not want to butcher it. Is it Mosi? Mosi. Unlimited, okay. So what you were saying about the masculinity and how it can be basically subjective and based upon the geographical locations, basically. That
I never stated that it was subjective.
Well, the way that you elaborated on how masculinity can be portrayed in other demographics, basically, made it subjective. So I'm going to elaborate on it because actually in Africa, it's the other way around. If you're a female and you have, more meat and, a little chunkier or whatever the case may be, that meant you came from a wealthy family. However, they actually expect their men to be fit because majority of them was warriors. They had to go out and battle and fight when it came time to hunting and all of that type of stuff or whatever the case may be. So they required them to have that chiseled body, those muscles and things of that nature, and be able to go to battle at any given time. So that was what was defined as masculine in some parts of the African nation. Now, I've never seen it to where the man is overweight and he's really, not unless he's like a king or something, and, you know, he's basically chilling with his 5 concubines and all of that, or whatever the case may be, and he don't have to go out and battle. But 9 times out of 10, most men in Africa are very fit, and they're fit because of those reasons. Like, they're the heads, there's the hunters and things of that nature. But in our society, we kind of lack on that. We expect them to be just that, just physically fit, good looking, have some type of wealth, maybe being able to, you know, hold down a family unit, things of that nature, when that's just like a minimum. That's very, what's the word I'm looking for? I would say, for lack of a better, just go ahead.
I said minuscule.
Yes, that's the word. So, yeah, like, I think that we should actually be holding more value on what that man's status would be. Now, I'm not going to say exactly what that would be because I'm a female and I don't know what it, you know, take to, you know, go through a man's situation and, you know, puberty and all that, or whatever the case may be, on a masculine level. However, being that feminine opposite, because I do believe a lot in duality, you know, there's a set criteria you would want him to have when he's displaying that masculinity. But yeah, I'm still filling in on the show and what the topic is or whatever. I just came in on that little piece that the brother was speaking about, and yeah, I had to mute so I could, you know, take in everything.
Okay. Well, thank you for chiming in and being here today, Coco. Appreciate this. Thank you for support constantly. Now, he listed about 5 things as far as masculinity, and he's pretty much hitting it out the park. Now, the fat part, okay, I can see how that's a problem, but is that the only thing you disagree with about the man that's being fat here in America? Is that the only part you disagree with? He's saying about the masculinity?
Wait. No, it's not even a disagreement.
No, that's for Coco. That's for Coco. Hold on.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, that's not the only thing, because if you ask me, you know, like, I could give you a whole list, but my thing is, I do agree when it comes to that mentality or that mindset that as a woman, we shouldn't be, you know, telling a man how to be a man. Yeah. It needs to actually be a masculine figure who actually upholds, you know, he ain't got no scandals. He ain't got, like, you know, he's every bit of what manly man is. And, you know, back in the day, we used to consider certain athletes as that, mainly because they had that athletic ability. But my thing is, what about those who don't have the athletic ability? What about those, you know, IT type of people or whatever that basically, you know, they go to work every day. They rely on, you know, being able to solve and have that strategic mind to, you know, be able to even.
Hold on. I understand what you're saying. Huh? I understand what you're saying, but who said that they weren't? Who said that men that are IT or not in the athletic field or still not masculine? Who said that they were not?
Right. That's my point, though. In America, the way we look at things, the way that we are shown, like even through like movies, TV, all of that, or whatever the case may be, it's always to diminish or try to, you know, downplay the man, or shall I say the masculinity in a man, especially when it comes to cultures. When you look at cultures, I hate to say it, but it has to be said. You know, I like to keep it funky like draws. In the melanated community, we laugh and get a kick out of our men, especially masculine men, you know, as far as physique is concerned, being dressed up as women. Why do we get like a thrill out of that when we should, like, that's it's like a psychological thing. You're gonna get used to it. You get conditioned to it. So now when you have the Dennis Rodmans and the Adam Lamberts and the ones who are very comfortable with being in a feminine, light, that's something wrong. And that's my opinion.
All right. And we appreciate your opinion and your perspective, as we do everyone's on the stage. One thing we do know here on The Real Deal versus How You Feel is we can agree to disagree, but it's the real deal versus how you feel. So your feelings just, you'll be all right. We're all grown. So we
appreciate it, because some people be trying to jump down your neck because of how you feel, and I'm like, well, it was my opinion. You didn't have to agree with it, but
yep, you can agree to disagree, but it's always gonna be respect for sure. Now we got a message, Twins. I'm gonna go ahead and press play to see what the listener has to say. Hold on.
All right, I got it.
I mean, I don't know what makes a man, but a man I respect is somebody who keeps his business private, has a control over his life and emotions, doesn't act out of line, like do shit like dirty shit to people. So to be a man is to do the hard shit and pick up the pieces when other people are failing to do so. And you just got to take control and be like, all right, here, be a leader. Like, like this is how we going to do this. We're going to divide it down to this task per person. We're going to figure it out. Like a man is somebody, like a leader, is somebody respects, that handles the business in a way that is not dirty or slimy.
Mic drop. Thank you for the comment, sir. That's another example.
Thank you.
Of masculinity right there. Good example.
So can I ask you guys this? Can a female not also be a leader? Or can a female be a leader also? Yeah. Based upon that or those,
Yes. That's an easy question. The answer is yes. And nowhere you'll see in the manosphere that we will say that a woman couldn't be those things. That's why I had a question when Miss Aspe was saying that they're the same. Show me where in the manosphere that we're saying that women need to be bowed down to men. Women need to do this, and you can find that nowhere.
It doesn't say that, and we didn't say that. We said
I'm not saying you said that. I'm saying that they're one of the same as what you said.
Because I don't have an opinion about this. This is something I'm reading, like legit reading right out of. I told y'all I learned today. I'm today years old, learning about manosphere. So it's not something that the men in my life talk about or have subscribed to. So it's not something that I can really expound on. And that's why the questions are being posed, not to be combative, but because I'm not in the know. That's how this discussion started.
Well,
when I say red pill, blue pill, it goes back to, like you mentioned, the matrix, us as a people and our consciousness. Us knowing what's really going on in this world concerning us versus this being a man thing. I just wasn't aware of that.
Right. And
but we got 2 more messages.
And you're right. But this is a conversation that wouldn't be had with women. This is the conversation that men have beyond each other. This is a men talk conversation here when we speak on the manosphere, red pill, blue pill. This is men talking to other men so they could be better men. So, right, you may not hear this because it's not a conversation for the woman. To be honest with you, it's just not meant for y'all. It's just, I can't sit here and tell a woman how to be feminine. Well, I can in a certain way. I know how she needs to move and act, but I can't teach or tell a woman what she needs to be feminine. It's just something I can't speak on, but I can speak on how men need to be better men version of themselves. That's what the whole manosphere is about. It's not about putting the woman down.
Only this. No, and I didn't get that at all. We didn't. No one mentioned men putting women down except for the 2 of you. No one is making that correlation at all. Not myself.
The only reason I say that because you said here they're one and the same. So I got to make sure we get that.
What
dismissed.
Is one and the same?
Manosphere, feminine, the same thing to me. They both to be
rewritten out. I didn't say
they're
that.
totally different. They're not even the same.
The definition. I didn't say it was the same. When I don't subscribe to either. The definition of manosphere has strong opposition against feminism in the definition. That's what I read. I didn't have an opinion about what that meant or how that would be expressed or any of that. We didn't go into that. I just read the definition. And you all were saying that that's not what the definition is. It's a culture. It's this and it's that and the third. And that's why I said, well, it sounds to me that we need to do a redefining of both feminism based on what Mostly Unlimited was saying.
We don't.
What feminism was.
We don't.
And what.
That's the problem right there.
We don't what?
We don't.
I think you just got to get off Wikipedia.
right. We don't got to break it down.
Not the best source.
You're absolutely right. So I went to the Webster Dictionary from 1828, right? So when I went in my 1828 dictionary, it's not too far different. Whether it's Wikipedia, 1828 says that masculine having the quantities of a man, strong, robust as a masculine body, resemble man, coarse, opposed to delicate or soft, a masculine features. So it's not that the definition. What I'm saying that you guys, because you're fully subscribed, right? So it is what
all
it is.
All the way in.
I'm not, and that's fine. What I'm saying is, how does this, I guess my initial point was, it sounds like how the LGBTQ took the rainbow sign and put it to this one thing. When we say red pill, blue pill now, we're not speaking about us as a people and our consciousness. Now we're talking about men going their own way based on the definition. I'm not making this up. Or, being a complete opposition of feminism. So why red pill?
Go ahead. Why what?
Blue pill, I guess that's what I chose. But I wasn't aware of it. I just had not been aware of it.
You cut up. You said why? I want to hear the last.
I said maybe you guys just decided to choose red pill, blue pill, so it takes the meaning of what it was, similar, like I said, to Mostly Unlimited saying feminism used to stand for this, and now it's social feminism. There's a difference there, right? There needs to be redefined, and it needs to be addressed. I'm saying the same thing with the terms red pill, blue pill, because it used to mean this, and now it's being redefined as this. Not really sure why, but this is where it's going.
I mean, red pill and blue pill, that's just a subjective metaphor from the Matrix.
Exactly.
I thought it just meant for somebody just being conscious or unconscious. But you can be unconscious and still be 100% feminine, and conscious and still be feminine. And same with masculinity, and you can be masculine and be conscious, and masculine and unconscious. It doesn't make a person good or bad. It's just, are they aware of certain things?
That's what we're saying. The awareness is not about them being good or bad at all.
So let me ask. So what in
terms of the awareness, is the awareness for us as a people, the collective, versus men being more in tune with their masculinity. That's all. That's a distinctive difference between what it was and what it is. And I'll put a pin in it because, like I said, I learned today that this is what this is, and it doesn't really matter because it doesn't really show up in my immediate, world, as I just learned today. But it does bring me to think, well, that's the same way this happened over here, where we didn't even give it any second thought. They were able to move the goalposts, just like with feminism. It started as this, now it's something else, whatever you guys are experiencing from feminism, and from the blue pill being a soft man, a man that is a happy wife, happy life, as Twin mentioned it. A happy.
I don't know if that's blue
happy,
pill.
Oh, that's
but
blue
that's
pill.
what he see. Again, we got to define it. But before we get into that, let's press play. Let's press play and see what the audience has to say.
Okay, yeah, I want to ask you about that, bro.
Yep. All right. So
I think leadership is important. Like, you know what I'm saying? Instead of, the weak leading.
How do you? Okay, I'm sorry. I'll come back and play it. I think I'm playing it out of order. Twins, this is your lane.
Right.
Can you play the 716?
Yeah, I got it.
Message from Sushi. Okay.
I think it's something that's a detriment to man is our inability to express our emotions, because we have to be the leader. Like, we have to be the pilots of the airplane. So if that bitch might crash, you got to be fucking acting like, everything's in control. It's all good. And try your best to manage it, because if you start freaking out, everyone's going to start freaking out.
Facts.
So part of that is taking those emotions you have and controlling them very carefully and trying to see beyond, what, you feel and understanding the part of your family. Like, so being a family man, businessman, stuff like that, good member of the community, that shit I respect.
I'm gonna play again.
Agreed.
I'm gonna play again because it's him. Okay.
What makes a man is just being born a man, having a penis.
Amen.
That ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? But that's why I differentiated between what makes a man and what's a man I respect.
Okay. Y'all can chime in
I
now.
agree with both of those.
Okay.
Wait, it's another message.
Yes, I'm gonna hit Coco's message and then we'll go from there. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
My fault, you guys. The volume had went out and I couldn't hear anything anybody was saying. So I jumped out and jumped back in.
I didn't. I think
Stop pressing buttons.
She probably having technical issues.
Stop pressing buttons.
Get back to the screen. My bad. Okay, so that was the next thing.
All right. So before we continue, did anyone have any questions on those three last comments that were just made? Before we go.
No, I just had a question on.
Hold on, Moses. Hold on. Go ahead.
Wait, thank you guys for listening.
I have a question.
And for being a part.
I'm sorry.
For being a part of the show and sharing your perspectives. You know, I agreed with Sushi, saying that you're a man and you are given a level of respect as a man. I feel that, Twins, I feel we need men. So
You must got the phone call.
this is only to me, but a man is a man is a man, period, right? Now, there are men that you would, like you said, hold respect, a high level of respect for, but you respect a man as a man, period. So I agree with that. I don't disagree with that. I mean, and I think that's for anyone. You're going to have different relationships or different levels of honor, respect that you give to anyone, depending on what they do and how they, express themselves and your, in your presence. So. But go ahead. I think we were saying you had a question.
Yeah, I had a question about what Twinsinc was saying. I didn't understand when you were saying the blue pill is something to do with a man that's like happy life, happy wife or something. It was something that you said when you combined them two.
Yeah.
And I was confused on what you mean.
Yeah, so the term happy wife, happy life, that is the true definition and example of what blue pill is. The fact that a man will put away his pride, his feelings, everything to the side just to make sure his wife is happy is a complete blue pill thought process. Because you
mean unconscious? You mean unconscious?
Well, conscious, I don't know. However you want to chop it up. But when I'm saying that.
No, but I mean, you have to define what blue pill and red. When you say blue pill, you say it's.
Okay. So
but before you use any of these pills, what is blue pill and red pill represent?
See, I told you can't choose.
No, that's fine. Thank you. Good question. And I know you're late to the show, but I gave a breakdown of it, and I'm gonna give you. Yeah. I'm gonna read a breakdown between red pill and blue pill for you and the audience, and we'll chime in late.
Okay.
The term red pill and blue pill.
You,
no problem. The term red pill and blue pill is referred to a choice between the willingness to learn a potential unsettling or life-changing truth by taking the red pill, or remaining in content ignorance with the blue pill. Any questions there before we move forward?
Say it one more time.
Yes. The term red pill and blue pill refers to a choice being the willingness to learn a potential unsettling or life-changing truth by taking the red pill, or remaining in a content ignorance with the blue pill.
That's an untruth. Say, right?
Y'all got it? So
fine.
Okay, I think I understand it. So basically, blue pill is ignorance, and red pill is consciousness. Or blue pill is willing ignorance, and red pill is hyper consciousness. It's like I know it's something over there, but I don't want to know what it is. So I just rather not know. It's like those people that say they know they're sick, but they don't want to go to the doctor because they don't want to find out they got like a terminal illness.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got you.
So that's go ahead. Continue. Go ahead. Get your thoughts.
So going back to the happy life, happy wife, you're saying that that's blue pill because there's something for that man to learn, but he's not willing to. He's gonna sacrifice ignorance for his peace. Exactly. He's like, whatever, bro. I don't really care to actually win the argument or get down to the bottom of the problem. I'm just gonna stand so I get some peace out of my wife. She can stop nagging.
Mic drop. That's it. That is it right there.
So.
Go ahead, Miss Hospital. Go ahead.
I don't belong here. I don't belong here because I don't know how, and this is the type of man we shouldn't want, right? This is the blue pill man is the man that is considered soft.
Yes, you don't want the blue pill.
Not all the time. Not all the time. It's an old school teacher.
Right. It's not absolute. So be clear. Right. It's not absolute.
I give two dualities.
Go ahead.
Of old school teaching, right? So, one of them that was taught to women was a man. So this was a saying: a man is going to be a man. So this is a practice. This was a thing that was taught to women. That was basically saying, if he cheats, it don't matter so long as he paying the bills and he ain't, bringing no kids around and he ain't embarrassing you in the street. If he want to drink, let that man drink. Leave him alone, as long as he bring the money in. It was an idea that women had to carry that said there's gonna be some bullshit that you don't want to deal with your husband, but to keep the peace, you just need to understand that a man is gonna be a man. That was something that was an old school thing that was taught to women. The old school thing that was taught to men was pick your battle.
Facts.
You ain't gonna win every fight. You're gonna win 1 out of 10 arguments. Pick your battles, bro. And I heard an old school guy tell me that ain't a hill worth dying. See, there's arguments that a lot of men can win, but the deal is, since we're dealing with our woman who's more emotionally sound than we are, if we were to win the argument, it would sound more like a humbling, like dominating attack. It wouldn't be about logic, right? So instead of just trying to just like crush your woman, because men care about winning over anything else. That's how we make money. That's how we get the promotion. That's how we get the girl that we want. That's how we win wars. Everything about a man's success is always about winning. And the one place that you're supposed to pick your battles on and you're not supposed to indiscriminately try to be undefeated at is with your woman. That's where you have to put your dick in your pocket sometimes and be loving and nurturing and not logical, more emotional. So
and
in
that's
layman's
not
terms,
red pill. That's blue pill.
It's blue pill according to his definition, but it is an age-old practice that has kept houses peaceful and marriages last. Because you got dudes that are astrophysicists, right? I'm sure Neil deGrasse Tyson can probably win every fucking argument in his house. One of the most intelligent black men in the world. But he would opt not to because it would just create this emotional imbalance in his house, and it would disrupt his peace.
Facts.
Where you got Michael Jordan, very intellectual dude, great businessman. Is it smart for that man to win every argument in his house? No.
So what do red pills do? So they win every argument? I'm confused because that just sounds like a man to me.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, bro, what in this example of marriage, example of operating in harmony with your wife in the house on a regular basis, how would a red pill look at that? So the opposite. So the blue pill would say happy life, happy wife. Hey, if it don't really hurt my feelings, I'm gonna just get it done. My wife wants chocolate 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm gonna just go get it because I don't want her to be bothering me while I'm watching the game. Right? You straight into some bullshit. So that's what I'm asking him. Yeah. So let me ask you what.
I thought you were answering. Okay.
I was just giving an example of a blue pill, so he could give an example of the red pill when he asked.
Understood.
Ooh, the message is coming hot. I love it. But yes, to answer the question, what a red pill will look like, and just be clear, ladies and gentlemen, I've been married. It's going on 12 years now, right? So just set the tone here. And I'm being transparent as possible right here. If I could do it all over again, right? Like I said, I'm still married, but if I can do it all over again, I would have been more red pill in my relationship than more blue pill that I was. Because now, because I'm years into the relationship, trying to break habits and things that I let slide for the first 8 years, right? I'm gonna look like I'm crazy or I still bump my head in some shit. Like, what's wrong with you? Why acting like this now, right? I'm acting weird. Why are you being weird to me? I'm sorry, I had to throw it in there.
So you were agreeing with the bullshit to keep the peace.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I was blue pill. Happy wife,
so
happy life.
what does it look like now?
Well, like I said, as I keep continuing. So now what I am doing to make sure I keep my insanity, right, and peace and mental mind, things that I wouldn't have normally say, I say now, right? I still say it out of love. I don't say it to be hurtful, disrespectful, because in the day, it's still my wife, right? I still love her and all that good stuff. And I ain't trying to tear it apart. But it gets to a point like, you know what? I'm fed up at this point now. I've been letting you do X, Y, Z during this time frame. And then he had that conversation. The first time, it's going to be a little uncomfortable for both of y'all, for her, for you, whatever. But the conversation got to happen. And if the conversation don't happen, that's where you have these divorces happen. And you have to put it out there, because if she loves you, or versus if he loves you, he's going to have these open conversations about his feelings and her feelings, because, hey, I love what we have going on here. I love who you are. I still look at you the same as it was day one, but there's some things that need to change. Now, if you don't want to make these changes, or vice versa, then we need to see how this goes. We need to figure out how we're going to navigate this thing going forward now, because I don't know about you, but I'm not in a good place right now, right? This is a conversation I'm having. I'm not in a good place right now. I have no side chicks. I'm not doing nothing crazy out here, X, Y, Z. But I'm being upfront with you because I need you to be the woman that I married. You understand what I'm saying? So, once again, you got to have this conversation. If not, when you do explode.
But even though you're choosing not to be the man that she married, because now you're saying you're moving the goalpost because you've come to some different type of understanding. Oh, wait, this is happening. I could have this. Then this is what I want.
No.
He wasn't moving the goalpost. He was enabling.
Right. I'm not, as a man, I'm not going to change the things that I'm doing. I'm just putting you on notice with the things that I'm doing and how it makes me feel when I'm doing it. Okay, I'm still doing this. I'm not going to stop doing this, but I just want to let you know how this makes me feel because I'm doing this. And at least, if anything, the only change you can really do, if it's the bare minimum, is just appreciate it. That's simple right there. That's the smallest thing you can do, and everything will be great, right? Now, you can do more, right? But it's just the appreciation.
Okay, so that's to say that happy life, happy wife means no appreciation. That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
Okay. So let's
and just remember when you say the phrase "moving the goalpost," you have to that metaphor is used to like express that there's a competition. There must be a winner and a loser. So I'm gonna move the goalpost so it's easier for me to win versus you to win. I don't think
that's how you interpret it. That's not how we use it when we say it. We just mean you changing it a little bit. We don't go into competition. We talk to each other on a regular basis. I'm sure he knows I'm not in competition with him. This is not a debate.
No, I'm not saying you're in competition with him. I'm talking about in his. I'm saying as far as his example. I'm not saying you're. I'm saying when you use that to try to explain his thing, it would make it seem like he's in competition with his wife, but it's not. It's not about a competition.
Not at all.
Like, I'm just gonna be honest now, because it comes down to letting shit slide starts the war inside of you.
Facts.
So he's like, what ended up happening is enabling your partner and being quiet about stuff that bother you. You can slowly fall into a deep depression or anger into building this negative resentment towards your partner because you enabled so much stuff quietly and you didn't tell them that they just got all these nasty habits. Like, dang, every time he come in, he leave his boots, his dusty boots right on the carpet. And I ain't said nothing to him about it in 10 years, but it's been bothering me this whole time.
You got to take that accountability.
Yeah, but now you ain't say nothing about it the first time. 5 years later, you blow up about it, or you cheat on them because you leave them or something because it was. Yeah,
that's the problem, and that's your fault. That's accountability that you should be taking because one, you can't expect someone to change something you haven't brought to their attention. Part of maturity and being conscious is speaking your truth, standing 10 toes down on what you believe, your principles. So you're not going to stand there and be like, oh, that slap hurt, but I'm not going to tell him that slap hurt. I'm just going to slap me again. No, that sounds like something else. So if we're saying that you're operating in this magnitude of consciousness, then doesn't that already align with that? And that's where I'm having a hard time fully understanding. Okay, nobody's suggesting that a man should be a pushover. It doesn't correlate well with the word man. It don't make sense.
But it,
you know
it
what
is.
I mean? But then no one's also.
But it is.
It's for some. But
it is.
For some
the term's out there. Let's be clear. The elephant in the room. Is, happy wife, happy life. You'd be lying to me if you never heard that ever in your life.
But it doesn't mean the same thing to all men, is what I'm saying. My father taught me happy wife, happy life. In no means did this man submit to my mother. You know, no,
I don't like speaking on
parents. It actually.
I don't like speaking on that.
It's not so much that. It's not so much that I'm saying that what you're saying is not true. I'm saying, like we always say, it's not absolute. So it's going to be about your experience. Now, the masses are saying that happy wife, happy life means that that man has no backbone. But then when you suggest what blue pill is, it sounds like the majority of men that has been, you know, the old, this is what has been. So then it's, you know, it's another layer to it, I guess. That's just like, well, which one is it? You know, are you the soft man? Are you the man that's been the man the whole time? The masculine man, your masculinity wasn't questioned at all. You just had enough discernment to know that this ain't worth me getting into no argument with my wife about. It's not even going to cause me to sweat off my brow. She could have it, or it is what it is. It doesn't matter. But it sounds like we're talking about something different, like a more emotional piece. Like this is bothering you. You feel a way about something. And that's different than the man just choosing to, you know, these are things that don't bother him. You know, it's just not that big of a deal. I'm going to go like Mosey, I think you said it. I'm going to just go get this, that, and the third. And it's not causing me no stress. It's not causing me no, you know, headache or nothing. But if I don't do this, then I could potentially walk myself into a headache because I know the woman that I married, she's going to respond or react in this way, etc. I'm going to beat that. I'm not even going to deal with that attitude, and I'm going to just do this because it's easier for me. But I felt like that's just relationship, and that's just, you know, a level of maturity that people come to, that you pick and choose your battles. That's with work. That's with parenting. That's with family relationships. And, you know, I figured that's with friendships and intimate relationships as well.
Let me ask you something. You brought up your father. How do you know that your father didn't live by the mantra, happy life, happy life?
I didn't say he didn't. I said he did. He's always said that.
Okay.
But he did not. I mean, he in some ways, what you guys described as blue pill, my father represents, but his masculinity was never questioned in my house. You know, he's the head of the house, and when he speaks, we listen, and so all of those things. So I guess it depends on the experience. I'm just trying to fully understand.
I'll simplify
that old school man that you mentioned is considered blue pill. So if that old school, my dad's a carpenter man or electrician man, or, you know, a man that works by the sweat of his brow and with his hands, is that blue pill man, then that might be my dad.
No.
I wouldn't know, because I don't use that.
Go ahead and ask your question. And after you ask your
but
question, we have 3 messages. So I don't want to get too far behind. So ask your question and don't play in the messages, okay? Unlimited.
Okay. People will break rules with their husband and their wife that is exclusive to them. Like you can have your wife disrespect you, you can forgive her, and then another woman on the street or another man on the street, you won't allow it. That's the one thing you get out of a spouse, is you get somebody else that is in the position to say, I am never going to leave you. I accept you for you, and I accept the fact that, you know what I'm saying,
I'm gonna deal with your bullcrap.
Yes, but when you do that with your partners, that doesn't take away from their masculinity or their femininity. Now, like, for example, like
right.
A simp is somebody who doesn't have a wife that bends his ways for all women. It's like, bro, you don't even have a wife. You bend for all women in this way, and you benefit nothing from it, right? And then, like, you will see, like the negative example for a woman is like a pick-me.
I think he's traveling right now. You cutting out some.
Yeah, let's go ahead and press play, because now we're introducing more terminology.
I'm gonna hit play. If you're still there, just hold on. Unlimited.
Hey y'all, hey. Did Mossy Unlimited just say that Neil deGrasse Tyson was one of the most intelligent men in the world? What? You gotta be kidding, right? Was that a joke? Because you know he's full of shit when he's with the whole sleep blue pill business, as y'all putting it. Serious? Oh, you gave him too much. You gave him too much. You gave him too much.
Do you know that Neil deGrasse Tyson is the leading black astrophysicist in the world? No.
Well, we're going to keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep going.
The goal should be not to win the argument. The goal should be not to escalate it to an argument. If you can just discuss it rationally and find out what you both want and come up with a compromise, that's 90% of the relationship issues, is coming up with a compromise. You're not going to agree on everything. So the thing is, to me, it's just like, like the thing is just like pick and choose your battles. Some shit you just let go.
Makes sense. I agree with that. Compromise. That makes sense. All right, want to play again?
I think me being honest about stuff that bothers me in our relationship since we moved in has separated us. I think now we've noticed we're not really compatible. Now he says I nick and pick about everything.
But that's a good thing, because then you get to eliminate the chance of you wasting your time. But to me, you're a poser. If you, and maybe poser is not the right word, so I don't want to be offensive, but you're definitely not walking in your true self if you allow yourself to mute yourself constantly and just internally struggle. What?
Yeah.
You don't trust yourself and you're afraid to lose somebody, is what it sounds like to me. So you don't trust yourself. That's not really loving yourself, because you'd be honest with yourself and others. You're going to love your neighbor like you love yourself. I'm going to tell me the truth, and guess who else I'm going to tell the truth? You. You're going to know today. You know what I mean? Or you're going to know it when I use discernment, because not saying that because I feel it in the moment, I got to speak it. I'm a grown-up. I have maturity, you know, and then there's a time and place for everything. So you use your, your discernment, and then you talk about it when the time is, provided for that, and you articulate yourself. Here's what happened. Here's what I felt when it happened. Here's what I suggest that you could do to not allow it to happen again. And I'm open to hear what you thought about it. What did you see? What did you feel? What was your experience? And how do you feel we can glean from one another or grow from this? Ultimately, it's me and you against the problem. Well, we don't need to be together. Don't need to be me and you. That's my take on it.
Love and sex makes you stupid, man.
Facts.
Some people be having 2 and 3 year honeymoon phases and don't know shit about the other person, because I don't know, y'all could probably look up this thing, the Abilene paradox. It's basically this thing where both people are agreeing or enabling each other, and they both are unconscious that they both disagree with each other at the same time. And that's kind of what she's going through. She found out years later that after they finally laid shit out on the table, that they really weren't compatible. They didn't really like each other. But you kind of, it's difficult because you've invested so much. You're in love. You had a couple like trauma bonding experiences together, and it's like
trauma bonding.
Yeah, trauma bonding or trauma bounding. Right? Somebody could have been homeless. Somebody could have, gave up a kidney or something. Who knows? But
or having kids. I think this is true too for
that makes you morally bound. You know what I'm saying? But the main thing is that honeymoon phase just makes you so stupid, because you're not looking at things logically, because you're just like, I'm horny. I need a friend. I'm tired of sleeping alone. And people don't think they start to. But something. The interesting thing about the honeymoon phase is that we are at our most
vulnerable,
primal at that time. We're vulnerable because we're primal. We're not thinking logically. We're thinking with our physiology, which is most primal. But we're intellectual creatures, so it makes it a little bit difficult once the personality gets inserted into the situation. No pun intended.
There's our Speak Life.
Well, guys, I have nothing. I
Got
have
nothing.
nothing.
Listen, I
Nothing.
want to say
If
shout
I
out to
don't
Unlimited and everyone who's tuned in today on the show. It's been.
I'm just going to interrupt my song. I was trying to
Oh,
do
you were
a
singing?
Whitney right
Oh,
there.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue your verse.
She actually not bad. It's a lot of people on
I
Sarah that
wasn't-
can't sing. It wasn't bad at all.
No, I wasn't really. Oh, thank you. But I wasn't really trying to sing. No, but I was just saying I have nothing if I don't have you. Honestly, to say, if we just change the narrative, forget all this divisive stuff. If you need to work on you internally, by all means do that. You know, go to a counselor, buddy up. You know, the men should be able to go into the men cave, the cigar lounges, wherever those spaces are, the basketball court, the gym, and talk amongst men and have men codes. It don't need to be expressed to women, maybe, you know, and it should not represent things that are universal to us all, maybe. But outside of that, I support that. You know, I'm that woman that have, here, I booked the cigar lounge for you and your friends to go. I pay for everything, and I might have a woman come through just for entertainment purposes. Who that cares? Just go and be great. So I
Be great.
I'm just saying, I would encourage those moments because it brings out a balanced man. Then I'm not dealing with, you call me selfish or whatever, but I'm not dealing with no, you know, hyper masculine man, if that be the case. Now I'm from New Jersey, so the temperament of men run a little different here. Maybe that's why I feel the way I feel as well.
Jersey.
I'm just trying to keep it kosher. You know, I don't need you to be mad at the world and then come home and be mad at me. I'm now the world. No, say do what you need.
Yeah.
But then I grew up with my dad. So, but I'm not trying to be the world that you're mad at because you're experiencing the outside world, right? That's what I'm saying. So when you come home, you know, it should be a level of peace, but there's a level of man that you need to uphold so that I could stay in that space as well. I can fully operate in my feminine space and state and not have to worry about man things. Y'all follow me? So it needs to be where we both fully are invested and committed to being our authentic selves 100% and communicating with one another. Understanding that I need to be able to articulate myself. You need to be able to articulate yourself. It's in my household, I can't see it being, oh, women are emotional, so you're just going to respond emotionally. I would want to punch somebody in their neck. They said something. Listen, I know how to. This is what's bothering me. This is why. Let's talk about it. Like, you mean to tell me that women don't have no level of logic? Tap into that level of logic that she has. Meet her there. Get that junk done. Tap into that level of emotion that he has. Meet him there. Get that junk done. It's the issue against y'all if y'all are units. We can't keep letting all these little, tedious things interfere with our relationships, and then the outbursts come and you cheat and feel justified. It's not.
Never justified, but
no cheating.
Yeah. So I believe.
You know what, I can't with you. Because you always do that, like, yeah, okay, you better not. But yeah, go ahead.
Look, I'm just wrapping up here. I think this has been a really good conversation. And big salute to you, Moses Unlimited, OC Unlimited. Do apologize, I'm messing your name up, but salute to you for joining the show, having a good conversation. Salute to Miss I Speak Life, everyone. This is the real deal versus how you feel, ladies and gentlemen. Take your feelings out of it. This is the real deal versus how you feel.
Please follow us.
I followed you guys. Thank you guys for having me.
Come back.
Yes, we're
every
here
Monday.
Every Monday at 6 p.m.
Eastern time.
And the title of the show is The Real Deal versus How You Feel. But Mosey, like you experienced, we have room topics, right? So this is season 3. This is our fall season. And this was the third show of our fall season. So next week when we come in, we have another show topic. Everything goes under The Real Deal versus How You Feel, but we'll be talking about keep it short and sweet. Can you answer yes or no? I guess that goes back to communication in those relationships or just, whatever. But we can get there. And topic, how important is sex in a marriage versus relationship?
Ooh.
So these are the types of topics that we talk about. And that's what's coming down. Yes, that's what's one of the things. That's what's coming down in the next couple of weeks. So hopefully you come back. The pipeline. You know what? I can't stop. I cannot. As always. Peace, Moby Unlimited. Thank you guys for joining the Real Deal versus How You Feel. It's your girl, Miss I Speak Life. Twinsinc. Bye.
Bye, y'all.